I didn't know you were into anime. It's a theme, isn't it?
Comments like that are surprisingly common. When someone says they are enjoy K-pop music or anime, they are often met with assumption being immature, being obsessed, or even religiously inappropriate. At IIUM, a place where Islamic values shape both education and lifestyle, the students start to negotiate between faith and self-expression. The question may appear, are being K-pop and anime fans are socially deviant? The rise of global subculture like K-pop and anime invites serious reflection. Even though these fandoms can serve as a creation outlet and foster community, it may also conflict with Islamic perception in terms of modesty, obsession, and cultural imitation. In Islam, balance is a core value. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 143, and thus we have made you a just community, that you will be witnesses over the people. When fan behavior crosses into idol worship, spending obsessive, and follow inappropriate fashion, they may become deviant. Therefore, it is important for us to understand how religious norms influence the way fandom is perceived.
Alright, I know that you must have some thoughts and ideas, right, regarding what our study was about. But here, let me show you what we found and why our findings is very important to increase your understanding on this topic. So basically, in completing this case study, we actually managed to interview several students from IIUM, and they are from two types of group, which are fans of K-pop and anime and also non-fans of K-pop and anime. So the first key themes here is how actually IIUM students perceive K-pop fans and anime fans. So from our findings, we found that the interviewees have mixing views, which positive and negative. So basically, from Dina, one of our interviewees, she expressed that she got the negative perception towards liking towards the K-pop. She basically was looked down due to carrying a bag of BTS group. So basically, BTS is one of the famous K-pop group. So everyone knows BTS, and when everyone knows BTS, just like that, everyone knows that she is K-pop fans. So basically, everyone looked down on her by wearing that bag. And Aza also shares that when she interacts with people, basically she will not justly shows that she's interested into K-pop. She will firstly check their vibes, like just to make sure that they won't touch her. She actually carefully interact with people. And Alicia is kind of different perception, as Alicia believes that in IIUM, the perception towards K-pop and anime fans basically improving. Like Alicia believes that it is in positive way, as she could observe that the K-pop and anime fans, they are openly to bring the photo cards and even the K-pop pins everywhere, openly in public. And also, Dimas and Firdaus, the non-K-pop fans, said that they also fine with that. It's not a big problem, as long as the K-pop fans do not go overboard. So basically, from these points, they managed to mention one of the Islamic values related with this, which is satya. So what satya is means moderation. To relate with these points, basically, in Islam teaches us to be balanced. So this is actually a warning for the K-pop fans and anime fans that when they are liking or interested into something, basically they need to be aware and be mindful that they could not go over the path that was wrong with Islamic path, Islamic way. Like they need to control themselves, be aware, like they have the limits. And in Islam teaches us to always think that and lie, and you can have interest, you can defend them. It's not haram, but you need to not cross the limit of Islamic way. Right, so moving on to the second key themes, which is how actually these fans express themselves. Basically, from the findings, the interviewees believe that social media is the main platform that could express these fans' interest towards K-pop or anime. And as Alicia, she also could be the evidence that yes, social media is the best platform, as Alicia used the sub account to express express or fandom freely there. It's not just using the social media basically, but they also express themselves by using the things, or we can say the material, such as keychains, shirts, and even the light sticks. They're using these things to show the identity of K-pop or anime fans. And basically, if we talk about this, we may see that all these kind of things, small things, as something that is normal, or we can say that valueless. But for them, these things, this material is very meaningful, and they also actually could globally interact. What I mean here is Uniqlo and H&M brand also contribute in these trends, K-pop and anime, as they collaborate with some of the K-pop and anime artists. And basically, people around the world could spend the brand just because they are so into with the K-pop idol or the K-pop group. And basically, when they buy the same things, they show the same interest, and they could be friends, so they will connect each other. And the last key themes here is how actually the fans sees themselves, how they perceive themselves actually. So basically, findings, Alicia actually one of the interviewees that very proud being as the fans, because she even decorate her own bags, basically using the anime badges, and she's very proud to be part of the anime fans. However, Dina and Nuha are among the fans that actually choose to keep their interest because they want to avoid the judgment. From this, we actually could reflect to the Islamic perspective that self expression is good, is allowed, but in Islam, we need to have our limits. Think carefully if our expression is too much, or if our expression is contradict with how Islam and us to be as Muslims. Deepen our understanding and critically analyze the findings. I think we can discuss this with Farah.
Alright, so let's discuss with me now. So are fans of K-pop or anime really doing something wrong? Or is it just as the people's reactions that makes it seem wrong? Let's discuss. In sociology, we have a theory called labeling theory. So what this theory means? This theory means that deviance is not about what people do. It's about how people react to what we do. So, for example, if someone wears an outfit that looks like an anime character, people might label that, people might judge them as being so obsessed or so childish or too much, over or strange. But in reality, they do not do anything that harmful, they do not cause harm to anybody, right? So, even in our interview, most of the fans mentioned that they still commit to the responsibility. They still pray, they still respect Islamic rules, they still go to class, they still do their assignments. So if all these fans still doing all this but still being labeled with all the negativity, the problem right now is not about the fans. The problem is on the people that react negatively to them. In Islam, Allah teaches us to not judge people so easily. Even Prophet Muhammad SAW said that Allah does not look at your appearance or your wealth, but instead Allah looks at your hearts and your sincerity. So, this reminds us actually that what matters most is our sincerity or what we do, because Allah knows our intention. Allah does not judge us based on what we wear today, or Allah does not judge us based on what music we listen to today. No. So this also reminds us that if we judge people so easily just because they enjoy something that we don't, it's against Islamic rules called husnuzan. In Islam, we have to be husnuzan, which means think positively about others. Now, let's relate this issue with subcultural theory. So what this theory talks about? It says that
fans, where the anime fans or K-pop fans, they will have their own small groups, they will form their own small groups, and they will live within that group. What does that mean? It means that they will have their own kind of jokes that only they will understand, and they will have their own way of connecting with each others, and they will have their own styles that only they will understand. And this is actually a form of identity and not rebellion. Even in our interview, our participants mentioned that their intention actually of being a fan, not to go against religion. No, they only want to enjoy whatever that they live, whatever that they like. And even most of them mention that they only being quiet about their interests. They do not want to express widely in their social media. Why? Because they don't want to be judged by people around them. So what they do, they only express their affinity to their close friends that share the same interests. So guys, what I would like to highlight here is actually Islam does not stop us from doing whatever that we like, whatever that we love. Islam does not stop us. We still can enjoy, but we should know our boundaries. As long as we maintain our adab and we know our responsibilities as a Muslim and we don't go against that, then it is allowed to be fans of K-pop, fans of anime. We still can. So that is all from me. So now let's see how Ainul will wrap this up.
As we reach our conversation, now we return back to the central question: are anime and K-pop fans at IIUM is truly deviant, or they're simply expressing different identity that often misunderstood? Based on the interview non-fans and fans, this perception is different by context, and that perception of deviant are not fixed. They are very depending on the many factors such as religious knowledge, gender, faculty environment, and cultural expectation in the within university environment. One may feel it harmless behavior, one may feel like problematic and non-Islamic behavior, and others may feel like fandom promotes the idol worship, obsession, and immodest behavior. From Islamic perspective, Islam don't say anime or music is haram by default, but most important is how we engage with them. It is called balance. Based on the IIUM interview, they are not blindly obsessed. They still keep exercising the religious duties like study and prayer, and they still keep their fans' activity private. So Islam reminds us to avoid this three things. First is hollow, too extreme, like we spending too much or being emotionally obsessed. Second is tashabuh, like we copy non-Muslim dressing. Third is idolization, like we put singer or character over the spiritual self, like mostly happen in the anime world. So in the conclusion, the anime and K-pop fans are not deviants by default, but it is a reflection of the modern Muslim youth that trying to find their place in the globalized world. So the challenge is we not judge them or not ban them as a fan culture, but we must to guide them in Islamic ethic. In the end, especially fans, they try their best to balance their interests with their faith. The real question is not is fandom wrong, but it's how we practice it. Being a fan and being a good Muslim are not opposite, but as long as we keep moderate.
We are students.
We are fans.
We are Muslims.
And we are not deviant.